now joined by Terrence Kuanum, Special Advisor, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation on Public Affairs. Good morning, Mr. Kuanum, and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, Abati, and good morning, Rufai.
Morning, Mr.
Morning.
Well, Terrence, tell us that this is a major achievement for the Tinubu administration. And also tell us why anybody at all, whether a medical student or an ordinary person, should be kidnapped. After all, the federal government claims, I think that's a more appropriate word, that, the government is doing a better job of renewing our hope and securing us. And yet we have medical students going for a conference in Enugu getting kidnapped. But, tell us traditionally that this is a major victory for the Tinubu administration. Should anybody be kidnapped?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. It's quite unfortunate that our students heading to a conference were kidnapped in that manner. But we commend the National Security Advisor for coordinating the security agencies to be able to rescue the students on time and all the other persons that were kidnapped within that territory. It's a situation of concern because these are not the kind of stories that Nigerians expect at the moment, but it's a work in progress, and we expect that with time, these things shouldn't be able to come up. And most times, the terrorists also contribute to situations like this. Those are situations where our infrastructure, especially the roads, are bad, and the road is in construction. And we feel that when these infrastructures are in place, most of these situations will not be there again. Our students and no Nigerians deserve to be kidnapped in that manner. Nigerians are supposed to be going about doing their businesses, knowing that they are secured. And that is what the government is all about, is to secure our citizens and make sure that they are guaranteed their safety at all times. But we commend the NSA because he was on top of this situation from day one, and we've been able to achieve this result. And the medical personnel have been practically under threat in Benue of recent because in Kuanum local government, we also heard some few weeks ago that a medical doctor and some personnel who were going for work in one of the council wards was kidnapped. And so it's an unfortunate situation, and we expect the security that are operating within that area should be up and doing, and the highways should be more secured so that these situations will not happen again. And most times, they need to also collaborate with the locals to be able to get intels, to be able to secure those terrains, because these people are operating within those communities, and in most cases, people within those communities know them. So it's for the intelligence officers to be able to go on the ground and get such information and know where these people are hiding and get to them before these damages are done.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kuanum. Just to follow up with that question around security of, especially lives of Nigerian citizens, one of the abductees, his parents had said, his name is Kingsley, that only a few days before, he had escaped death by the whiskers because there was a religious crisis and some of the hoodlums almost killed him on the 15th of August. A few days later, I think a week and a day afterwards, on the 23rd, he was abducted in this same Nigeria. Now, when you put that side by side with a lot of people who, especially our young minds who want to jackpot in that word, run away as a result of the security situation, how can you say that people are safe in a country where within a space of 1 week, 2 incidents that could have taken the life of a bright young future? That's one. Then the second is on intelligence that you talk about. Last week we were here, we defended the fact that our intelligence gathering in Nigeria is top-notch. But here you talk about the challenges, one of the challenges that they face, which is the community members giving information. Why do you think there's that gap between information gathering, especially amongst community members?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ayo, for that question. You know, the challenge we have is that we got to a point in this country where, especially in the northern part of the country, security was extremely, extremely bad. We're just recovering from that, and it's not going to be a day's job because most of these communities were engulfed with this crisis, and some of them took dimensions of ethnic, some of them took religious dimensions outside the banditry and the terrorism that was taking place in our communities. And we are grateful that for a while, we are having a government now that has not brought a new security challenge. I'm saying that because we had a situation where the Boko Haram erupted, and then a new government took over, and banditry took over the entire country. Nobody was safe in this country. Now we have a government that is trying to rescue these situations and make Nigerians safe. But we know that it's not going to be a day's job because this became at a point where people were able to feed themselves and all of that. So there's going to be a lot of resistance, putting them off completely these situations. But we know that with the efforts being made, we are going to achieve positive results shortly, but we don't expect all these things to go off in one day. Like the intelligence gathering you're talking about, we've always insisted that for you to be able to generate intelligence is for you to be able to go down to those communities and generate your intel. There is no intel that you sit in the comfort of your office and generate that is going to be classified for any action and it to be successful. Our communities have been engulfed with criminalities. And most communities that these things are taking place, you need to get to those communities and develop those intelligence for them to be classified and be successful. And even in certain communities that we're talking about, ethnic crisis and the rest, we need to put those communities together because most of these ethnic crises we're talking about are still elements of criminalities that are using those sentiments to perpetrate crimes in those communities. It's actually not an ethnic crisis that might be taking place because these criminals are using so many sentiments to rob people of their belongings and kill. And so we need to take those elements seriously to be able to cope the security challenges that we're having. Even within our religious circles, we need to develop some interest enough to be able to know that people don't use those sentiments to perpetrate crime in our communities.
Okay, Mr. Kuanum, good to see you again, and thanks for all the work. Let's talk about the fact that this insecurity has really snowballed. Yeah, congratulations to the state for getting those people out, but it's a reflection of the sad situation. Do you know, as at this morning, there's the story I was just saying now, the Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors are actually declaring a warning strike, as at this morning after their NEC meeting, because of the kidnap of Dr. Ganiat Pukola that's been on for about 8 months. And we have not found a solution to that. So yeah, this is just one success out of too many. Look at the case of the young man that was traumatized twice in his life. God knows what will happen to the mental health of that doctor till the very end. How can we make it not even possible in the first place? Why didn't the state, with intel, go after that bandit in the first place before all of this happened?
Thank you very much, Rufai. These are extremely serious challenges that we have as a people because we've been on this for so many years, the issue of generating intel to be able to stop criminalities before it happens. And because most of the communities are vulnerable. I know at the point we discussed how our people are preferring to give interest to our criminals than state actors. Because the crisis got to a point that the state actors were not able to protect the citizens, and the citizens were even giving interest to these criminals, the non-state actors. And most times there were ambushes that even affected our security personnel. But confidence is being restored at the moment that our people are now sharing intels with the security agencies, and we feel that when the confidence is fully restored and we get to where we're supposed to be, these intels will be able to help us stop most of these things before they happen. The issue of resident doctors is quite unfortunate because it's not just Dr. Ganiu. Like I told you, in a local government in Benue, in Kuanum local government, a doctor, because it's even a crisis area, but a doctor who insisted to be there to save lives was still kidnapped in that situation. It was quite a sad situation. And there are so many of these cases like this. But now that confidence is being restored back to the security agencies and our people are able to give them intel, we are hoping that within a very short time, most of these things will be avoided before they happen, because it's not quite right, because most of these personnel are sacrificing their lives to even be in harm's way to save lives, and yet they are not safe. These criminals are not sparing them. It's not a good situation at all that we should have on our hands. It's discouraging a lot of people, and our people outside the attacks that are coming from the criminals, even the health challenges they have, they are not going to be safe with them, because they are going to die of these situations if all these doctors refuse to go in those communities again.
Well, President Tinubu promises us renewed hope. I mean, only yesterday at the NBA conference, he was saying, look, Nigerians should not despair, that in a little while, all the problems of the past would, pass away. But what are the concrete guarantees that you, as someone who is inside the government, as an advisor, what are those concrete guarantees that Nigerians can rely on, especially on the primary responsibility of government, which is to secure our lives and provide for us?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Abati. Like I told you earlier, the president is up and down trying to resolve the security challenges that he met on ground that almost overwhelmed us as a people. And if you recall, some few years ago, we sat here and discussed how most of the highways in our country, especially in the north, it wasn't possible for us to ply them again. They were taken over completely by criminals. People that even ran to be using the trains also didn't find it funny at a point, because those trains were also endangered. So practically it was becoming impossible for Nigerians who were in the north to be able to move to their places. We thank God that today, with the effort of the government, most of those challenges are being resolved. Today, in the last 1 year, we've not had any challenges of Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, Birnin, Ngware. All those issues today are becoming a thing of the past. And so with the effort that he's making, and with the insistence that the security chiefs must be able to provide results so that Nigerians will be safe, and the effort he's recently making to be able to secure the production of crude so that we'll be able to meet up the target of 2 million barrels a day, the efforts he's making, I think we are going to get some result at the end of it, especially if, as citizens of this country, we're able to cooperate with the government and not sabotage the efforts that have been made. Because in most cases, when these things happen, we bring politics into it, and sometimes we receive some sabotage so that government will not be able to achieve the result. But this country belongs to all of us, and we expect that with the efforts being made by the government, we'll be able to cooperate with the government and achieve results for all of us to benefit from them.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time this morning, Mr. Terrence Kuanum. We look forward to seeing those students being, just receiving some kind of support, especially with regards to the trauma that they faced, and that hopefully they're able to settle back into their university education. Thank you for your time.